On behalf of Chairman Cole and myself, I call to order this joint meeting of the Budget and Finance and Convention, Tourism, and Public Entertainment Committees.
Thank you, Councilman Stein and Cole, for calling this meeting together today. We appreciate it. As Councilman Stein indicated, we view this as the first of a series of meetings that we expect to be holding with the Council between now and the end of the year to discuss various aspects associated with the Convention Center project. I want to make sure everyone has received a copy of the handout, the presentation, so that you've got it as we go forward. I think just as a little oversight about why we're here today, clearly, as you know, we've always considered the headquarters hotel as a crucial part of this whole convention center development. And now I'm going to turn it over to Tim Marvin, who's going to lead us through a little discussion on why a convention center hotel is needed. Thank you. Tim? Thank you, Rich.
Good afternoon. Once again, my name is Tim Marvin. I am Senior Vice President of Lodging Development for Marriott. As you know, numerous feasibility studies have been done for Nashville over the past few years. All of them have really come to the same conclusion, and that is a headquarter hotel in conjunction with a center is necessary. You're also going to see in this presentation that other cities around the United States have come to the same conclusion and results. And finally, meeting planners, who ultimately is the primary customer for this particular type of project. They have many options out there today, and the environment is changing very fast. And what meeting planners are telling us is that a headquarter hotel designation of certain size and certain facilities and certain proximity to the center is critical for them to bring their important business to a city. We can go to the next slide here. This here highlights some of the results from a survey from Meetings and Conventions magazine, talking about what's important to choosing an event location. And the first thing, and by far the most important thing, is availability of suitable hotels. So a meeting, next please. National competition, these are the competitors that have been primarily identified for Nashville. All of these different markets, and you may know these, have had hotels added over the last several years of similar size. At a kind of conclusion, now I'm going to turn it over to Jeff Scruggs, who's Managing Director and Co-Head of Municipal Banking at Goldman Sachs.
Thank you, Tim. And the reason why you do a convention center headquarters hotel is to maximize the benefits to the city of having the convention center itself. Now, moving to page 17, again, this is taking about a half a step back. We just wanted to put up a chart that really reinforces the economic benefits of a hotel and a convention center overall.
Thanks, Jeff. All right. Thank you. Just one quick slide. Here you have on the board just sort of a broad timeline schedule for going forward. As we talked about, we've engaged a feasibility consultant now, and we are working on different financing options, talking about them internally for the hotel. I'd say in the October-November timeframe, we'll have a series of meetings like we're having today. We'll meet with the rating agencies to see the impact on the city of these financings we're looking at to make sure we can get a solid rating on the debt. And finally, somewhere in the November-December timeframe, we intend to file the legislation, whatever is necessary, to the council for this. With that, let me say that we're now ready for questions.
With Councilman Gatto.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. It's not going to take me anywhere near 5 minutes, I can assure you, because what we've got today is just kind of an overview, and I'm not sure that we're in a position to answer a lot of detailed questions, but until we see the financing plan, I think that's when the real questions will come. My question is about the financing plan. When we receive this financing plan, is it going to be packaged with the convention center financing plan? Will we get it all at one time?
That is our intention and our desire. I'm not going to absolutely commit to it because clearly the convention center is a little ahead of the hotel in terms of where they are. We hope they'll catch up about the same time, but it would be our goal to have them filed with the council at the same time.
Well, I mean, just from my standpoint, I'd strongly encourage you to do that because it would be real hard for me to vote for a convention center financing plan. And I know we've done this little steps at a time, and we've kind of stepped on faith on a couple of things. But at this point, the convention center would be such a big investment, huge investment that we would have to make and commit to, that if I don't have the hotel financing plan that goes along with that, then it would be very difficult for me to vote for it, because you're asking for a vote for $600 million that's at risk if the hotel financing plan doesn't work out, because, I mean, everybody's saying that you've got to have this hotel to make the convention center work. So it seems to me that the financing needs to all come in here at the same time. So I would urge you to delay bringing anything until you can bring the whole package.
Understand.
Thank you.
Councilman Cole.
Thank you, Mr.
Oops. There we go.
There you go. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Oh, yeah, you see all the ones that we got to use for this thing.
Thank you, gentlemen, for being here. Really appreciate the discussion and the workshop. I wanted to ask, I think, Mr. Marvin, this question would be directed to you. On the slide 11, where you talked about national competition and the other cities that have completed new headquarters hotels, it kind of sounded like some of those had proceeded with their convention centers without a headquarters hotel and came back and did them afterwards. And I'm just curious the experience of, I mean, is that the case? And then just kind of generally, what were the arguments for and against, why that was done?
Great. Let me respond to it. Let me quickly scan the list here. Without exception, these convention centers were built without a significant headquarter hotel. And I'm looking here once again. Some of these properties, had some level of hotels. Indianapolis had I think a 500-room Westin in and around the property. I guess what's maybe the conclusion you draw from that, though, is that of the 17 or so we've seen that have been done in the last 10 years, what we found is, convention center authorities have found their convention centers are not performing. And the result of that is that meeting planners were telling them, look, other cities are becoming more competitive because we have your convention center and we've got attached headquarter hotels as these became built. So they became less and less competitive. And so they've been out there essentially trying to, duplicate this particular model because the market has shifted now towards this.
Thank you. And that's, so, I mean, I know we've heard throughout this debate and discussion that a number of cities have had failing, or not failing, but they've not met their underperforming convention centers. So the argument, I mean, the statement is that a hotel or a significant headquarters hotel actually increases that performance of the convention center in the city over time. I mean, is that?
Yeah, I think the studies that you have had done would have you show that the link between the convention center and the headquarter hotel is a very important link, and that the meeting planner, wants to find convention and exhibit space they can use, but they need to have a place to house them in a very convenient environment. So
and I noticed your data talked about within a mile. I mean, so it also, proximity obviously factors in as well.
They look within a mile for their overall meeting needs, but what they want from the headquarter hotel is immediate proximity. They want to be attached, and this is the roughly in a convention center of this size, 1.2 million square feet, and in a market of this size. We've identified about an 800-room block as kind of the critical size for their core headquarter. Now, they may use 2,000 rooms, and yes, they want those within a mile. Beyond that, they run into transportation issues and cost issues, et cetera.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.